Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into Border City Rock Talk, where you get great news, great interviews, great interviewees with sometimes a comedic touch. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and comment below. Before further ado, I bring to you a couple cats that are really fond of Canadian band Rush. I've got Ryan and JT. How you guys doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah,
How you
good.
doing, Ernest?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. So people are going to be a little not really confused, but when they come into this interview, the way I'm going to title it, it's going to be a Rush interview, but not per se with Geddy or Alex. I've been trying to get those guys on the show. I've interviewed every Canadian legend. I've got Randy Bachman, I've interviewed Brian Adams, interviewed guys from Lexi Fox, Steel Panther, everybody, but I can't get my own countrymen to come on the show. So can you guys maybe ask Megan to get Alex and Geddy on the show?
That would probably be Ryan's department. He's more tied in with the Rush community than I am.
Yeah, I don't know that I have that kind of pull, but I'll do what I can.
All right, Megan, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you will, because I'm probably going to bombard you with emails, if you can get them on the show for 10 or 15 minutes, that's great. If not, I know they're busy. So without that anymore, without further ado, tell me how, well, first of all, introduce yourselves and tell me what song that you guys, your band particularly covered, and you can plug the band, and then we'll go from there.
Ryan, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm in a duo called Double Eagle. And it's actually the other my recording personality is Simon Flederman in Double Eagle, with longtime friend Jojo Casilda is my musical partner in there. And I also started this label, Twice as High Records, about 3 years ago. At first as a means to just release Double Eagle music, and then started releasing other music that I really liked. And I love vinyl in particular, so really wanted to release cool, unique things on vinyl. And let's see, Double Eagle, we've been recording for 25 years on and off. We've been friends since high school, and we did a reinterpretation of YYZ. Of course, I don't think anyone can hope to imitate Rush, and so we made no attempt at imitating them, and kind of did our own thing, and recomposed a new tune in the spirit of YYZ.
Right. And so Ryan, or excuse me, that was Ryan. So JT, you as well. You're with Gwazi?
Yeah, so Gwazi is a project, a band that I've had, mainly a studio project that I've had with my friend Brandon Youngs for many years. Not many. We've been recording as Gwazi for about 9 years. But I've been working with Brandon on various projects. My other band that has been on indefinite hiatus for a long time now, Hot Ham and Cheese, originally started recording with him 20 years ago, and then we started the Gwazi thing. We actually have a new album coming out on July 26th. It's called Goat Fur, and it is a death metal record. We always try to do different types of things, and we've done music for independent films. We've done cover songs, original music, and we decided we wanted to do a death metal album. But for Rush for Cover, we did Working Man, because we're from Cleveland. And so Cleveland was pretty much responsible for breaking that song. And it's a big track here, still played on classic rock radio on the regular. But we did a very sludgy stoner doom metal type version of it. And it was a lot of fun. And I'm the owner of Jib Machine Records, which is the other label that put this out. And it's the 20th anniversary of Jib Machine. And like Ryan, started it to put out my band's recordings at the time, and a solo recording I was working on, and then eventually my band, and then playing out. Other bands asked if they could be on the label, and it just kind of went from there.
Right on. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware of my channel or not. I know that I've done some work for you for one of your publicists, Melissa, a few times. She's great, by the way. The thing with my channel is I've interviewed about 200 guests over the last couple of years. The channel is doing really well, 2,000 subscribers now. 500,000 views, thousands or hundreds of thousands of hours viewing time. I've interviewed a lot of them. And at the end of my interviews, it's a cliche question to say favorite Canadian band or artist, because I'm coming from Canada, although 99% of my subscribers are American. Um, it's always Rush. 99% of them are going to say Rush. And for a long time, I was like, okay, I get it. And then after a while, I started to think, there's more than just Rush in Canada. We got Triumph, we got Loverboy, we got Helix, we've got Sastro and Avril Lavigne and everybody, but everybody still comes to Rush. So I kind of make a pun and a joke. I'm like, except Rush. And then I said to a few of my guests, I mean, are you guys saying Rush because you don't know any other Canadians? And a lot of them say, no, dude, I got my start with Rush. Now, having said that, um, I think I didn't get into Rush as much as a lot of them did because of the age difference. Because I grew up when I think Motley Crue came out. That I think it was a 10 years difference than when Rush was making it big. And they made it big, I guess, in Texas. That's where they broke. Same with Triumph. Now, where I live, all you hear is, and I love the songs, they're great, but you hear Closer to the Heart, Working Man, Tom Sawyer. You hear about 9 songs that are just standard and standard. So when I got this sent to me, and I'm sort of chatting so much, guys, it was amazing to the music I heard. I couldn't believe it. So I'm pleading the fifth on this, like Tears and No One at the Bridge, and like, I mean, YYZ. Like, if you guys don't know what that is, you will know, but the fans don't. That's the airport code for the Toronto Airport, Pearson. And yeah, so I'm pleading fifth. I'm going to get into Rush a bit more. So you guys tell me individually, when did you find your love for Rush? Was it the hits on the radio, or is it searching through their catalog?
For me, the first time I first heard Rush was when it was put on our warm-up tape when I was on our middle school basketball team. Tom
Oh, wow.
Sawyer was on the warm-up tape,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I hadn't really listened to them, so I've done a few hundred layups while listening to Tom Sawyer.
Wow.
And it wasn't until a few years later in high school, I had a couple of friends who were absolute Rush nuts. I mean, every single last thing about them. And so I listened to more of them through them, and that's when I really fell in love with them in high school. Maybe I won't age myself, but yeah, I mean, so it's for gosh, almost 30 years now. Been pretty far into Rush, and yeah, so that's oh, and I have an answer other than Rush. I'd say my favorite Canadian musician is Neil Young.
Okay. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's taken up residency in your country as well.
right, right.
Yeah.
I when I was a kid, in the early days of MTV, they used to play the live version of Tom Sawyer a lot. It was in rotation on MTV a lot. So that was like my first exposure to them. But then my aunt is 12 years older than me, and in the 80s, she was really into Rush, was going to a lot of their concerts during like that mid 80s era, mid to late 80s era of Rush. Where they got heavily into synthesizers and that sort of thing. But then, going back when I got into high school and listening to 2112 and Hemispheres, and you get into the back catalog, and that's kind of how I got into them. I think it was a gradual thing.
Mhm.
I was only fortunate enough to see them one time, and it was in 2011 in Cleveland when they filmed that DVD for the Time Machine
Oh,
tour.
Okay.
I
nice.
was actually at that concert. That was my one and only Rush show. But that's how I got into them. And then in terms of other Canadian musicians, I think Canadian musicians, I think Triumph is grossly underrated. And fantastic, just a fantastic band. Um, and again, exposed to them on MTV back in the 80s too. That's how I knew who they were. So I'd say MTV was responsible for exposing a lot
Yeah,
of Canadian artists to me as a child.
in Canada we have Much Music, which
Yeah,
is synonymous. Is that a word? But the funny thing about the Triumph and the Rush thing is they're both tripods.
yeah,
Three band
right.
members. I don't know what that says. I know our population is a lot less than yours. I don't know if we can only afford to put 3 band members in a band, but I always thought that was interesting. 2 of the biggest Canadian rock bands only had 3 members. So, anyways, yeah, thanks a lot for that, guys. Can you guys mention, or one of you mention, the other bands that have covered on this album and what songs they did?
Sure, yeah. Well, JT's band Gwazi opens it up with Working Man. The track list is in chronological order of the songs having been
Okay.
released. Mayhem Lettuce, a US duo. No One at the Bridge from Caress of Steel. The Turtle Project, who's British, covers Tears off of 2112. Movers from Atlanta, Georgia, cover Circumstances, which is one of my favorite songs ever. My own duo, Double Eagle, we do a re-recorded a new. It's called YYZ for reasons that don't have anything to do with airport codes, but and then Kyla Tilley from Canada is
Yep.
covers Subdivisions. That's probably my favorite track on the album, is her version of Subdivisions.
I would
Nice.
agree with Ryan. That is my favorite track too.
And she plays everything on that. She recorded the whole thing on
Well,
her
they
own.
have, because like I said, we're only allowed to put one or two, or maybe most three people in a band in Canada. So she had to
Right,
play
yeah,
them.
exactly. Well, what's funny is none of the bands on the tribute album are trios.
Right.
There's some solo, some duos, and only one or two bands with four or more members. So yeah, we somehow that's just how it worked out. No trios. Oh, Dichroma from also Canadian duo. They do a great
Yeah.
version of Red Sector A, which I love.
Yep.
I love
Uh,
that song too.
Yeah, Cult of Wedge, a solo act, also from the UK, does a great version of Anagram for Mongo with a couple of little hidden gems in that version, including the ending comes from the end of Cygnus X1 and is Fade Out. And then Mike Sands from Tennessee in the US does like an Americana version of Stick It Out.
Perfect. So where can people go to get this? It's actually, it was just released, correct? On the 26th of April, I think?
That's correct. It's out there now. You can get it anywhere, but if you want to buy it directly from us, you can go to rushforcover.com.
Okay.
And you could either download the album or you could purchase it on vinyl. And there are two different colors. We have an orange creamsicle and sky blue vinyl available for this particular release.
Who did the cover or the artwork on the cover?
Oh, an artist named Kelly Drew, who's also a big Rush fan, and
Okay.
I was pointed out. I was referred to her by one of the people who runs one of the big Rush fan sites, because I was more than anything, I wanted other Rush fans to take part in making the album.
Contribute for sure. So yeah, just before everybody, just let you guys know, stick around because I'm gonna have the rest of the songs. Just gonna do 20 or 30-second clips just so people know what they're getting. It's almost back in the day, Ryan, when we watch K-Tel, would have like 4 or 5 or 10 seconds of an Air Supply album and it's like making love and then goes to the next one. So you kind of get a taste of what this is. It's a really great album. Like I said, guys, I like Rush, but I mean, maybe I didn't delve into it as much, and maybe there's a reason why 199 out of 200 people say Rush. I mean, I know they're good, but maybe they're a lot better than I thought. So I'd like to thank you guys for your time. I'll put the links below so everybody go and purchase the album and everything. Thanks a lot to Twice as High and Jib Records and Melissa for setting this up. What's the opposite of unsubscribe?
Subscribe.
Yeah, everybody do as these smart guys say, subscribe to the channel for these great interviews. And yeah, go out and get this album. It's called Rush for Cover.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We really appreciate it.
Hey boy, alone and so far from home. Endless rooftops from my window. Growing up, it all seemed so one-sided. Opinions all provided. The future pre-decided. Detached and subdivided in the mass production distraction zone.
Ragged lines through ragged frame. Skeletons they shuffle away. Shouting gods and smoking guns will cut down the unlucky ones. I clutch the wire fence to my fingers. A wound that will not heal, a heart that cannot feel. Hoping that the horror will miss. Hoping that tomorrow will all be free. Sickness to insanity, from prayer to profanity. Days and weeks and months go by. Don't feel the hunger, too weak to cry.
Trust in your instincts if it's safely restrained. Lightning reaction